I still can't believe it's been 10 years since Spider-Man Lost Cause. I'll never shut up about this. So, travel back in time with me and a 20-foot mannequin apparently to the iconic suits of Spider-Man Lost Cause. Today we're going to talk about the process of how we made them, what their inspirations were, and of course, what they look like today. Whether that's better or for worse. Okay, let's go!
Et sèche-moi ces larmes de crocodile.
So, this is the first ever suit my Peter Parker wears in Spider-Man Lost Cause. So there is going to be one thing you eagle-eyed viewers are kind of confused about. We had a spider logo on this design, but for some reason I zipped this up this whole time. So you never really saw it. Obviously, you're going to hear this a lot in the video. The Amazing Spider-Man inspired. This mask here is a ski mask, inverted, so the eyes are actually at the back. I cut 2 holes here, put sunglasses on so I can actually see. Just a standard beanie, just a standard top, a really nice leather jacket, and some jeans. Thick jeans. So we did have web shooters on this. I'll show this in the next suit because you can't really see them on this design. But yeah, it's very simple, very TASM inspired. The idea for this is going for that vigilante style, very similar to TASM. It kind of looks like a thug because Peter Parker's in that revenge era. There's something about this which I really like. I don't know what it is. If I could do it again, I'd probably go for the ruggedness of the vigilante suit in Tobey Maguire's film with maybe some of the colour pops from Spider-Man Homecoming. But yeah, as like a first ever suit for Lost Cause, it's kind of perfect, right? It's very English as well, like everyone dresses like this. Pretty sure this is crayon. I'm pretty sure I just drew this on with some sort of crayon. This is also kind of the first rendition of the curve that my Spider-Man logo has in another world, so that's kind of interesting. But yeah, super simple. Let's get on to the Spider-Man suits. And this, my friends, is the nighttime suit. I don't know why he'd be looking like that, but he'd be looking like that. So this is what we called in the film the nighttime suit. Now, the reason we did that is because it's a little darker, the blues are a lot more royal, the reds are a bit more deeper, and obviously it's completely inspired by The Amazing Spider-Man 1. Pretty much has almost the exact same patterns. It's got the lines down here, the lines up here, the Amazing Spider-Man logo. What people actually don't know is we got this suit in 2012, 2013, and companies like RPC, Zentai Zone, all the big Spider-Man costume developers, they weren't a thing. So this is literally a adult-sized Halloween costume that we had to adjust for the film and myself. And when we got it, it wasn't the best. It wasn't the greatest suit ever made. I don't know if people still puff paint these days, but this is completely puff painted. This took me so long to, like ridiculously long to do. Every single part of the head, shoulder, stomach, a little bit of the legs. I've actually not done the legs. Like that's a thing that I just never did. It genuinely took me about a month to get right because it's a honeycomb pattern. It takes bloody ages. Puff paint back then was so big, so it just wasn't easy to do. The gloves here came with it. There was also some socks that you pull up, which we have, but we couldn't get on the mannequin. This mask was awful. It was just a quick little, you know, Halloween costumes. You know how bad they are. You just put them on. So we had to genuinely custom make this for my head. And back then we didn't have face shells. Face shells weren't a thing. It's so easy to get a good tailor-made Spider-Man costume now and custom-made face shells, but back then there wasn't such a thing. No one was making face shells. So let's start with the head shape itself. I actually bought an adult-sized bike helmet, and inside, I was so lucky, inside there was a pre-made plastic coating that just helped it keep its shape. I took that out, glued it on this mask, and that gave the forehead shape. Also, one of the most annoying things about this mask is that it's not attached to the suit. So every single time we did a shoot, you'll probably see it in the film quite a lot, but it comes undone. It looks like this most of the time. We ended up getting so annoyed with it that we pinned paper clips all around my neck. One thing I am very proud of is the lenses. Now I know what you're thinking, like if there wasn't such thing as face shells, how do we get these amazing lenses? I'll tell you how, but these here are child sunglasses. When The Amazing Spider-Man 1 came out, there was a 2012 sunglasses promotion where if you could go Toys R Us, if you could go to any toy shop, you'd be able to find these limited edition Spider-Man 2012 sunglasses, which I guarantee are worth so much money now. Cut off the edges, blacked the edges out, and super glued them onto this mask. They're a bit loose now, Oh no, they're not too bad. They have stuck on this whole time. They have literally not moved for about 10 years, which is amazing. With these being sunglasses as well, yeah, no, I could not see out them at all. Every single time we was doing any sort of fight scene, running scene, pretending to swing, pretending to be on rooftops, I couldn't see a single thing through them. Nightmare. This belt here is actually a Amazon Prime Batman belt. I just painted it red, added a few Spider-Man things, added a camera which is falling off. This is actually made of cardboard, this bit here, because there's a Batman logo under it. Completely covered in glue and sellotape to hold everything together. And of course, the shoes that came with this costume were just my standard Adidas beautiful white shoes that I painted. Spider-Man colours, again, these were used in Another World as well. These were different in Lost Cause, but they're the same shoes. As ridiculous as the process of making this suit was, I am forever proud of this. This was genuinely probably like 4 or 5 months of work. We had to take it to tailors to make it fit because it was a Halloween costume, right? It was baggy, it was not the best. So we had to get it tailor-made to fit my body. Like, people call this film like the homemade Spider-Man film, and it really is. The web shooters were made from funny little leather straps. Attached to that, to represent the web shooter, was a watch. I took the watch apart, I took out the clock interiors, cut a circle around the Coke can. That's the red material, it's just a Coke can, it's just a random Coke can. I put the red material in for the Coke can, took apart the watch, took a bit of the watch materials, put that in to make it look more web fluidy, and then put the glass back on the watch. I had like a weird MP3 device attached to my web shooter, so you know, when Spider-Man chilling on the rooftop, all he's got to do is put his earphones in, for some reason attach it to his arm, and he's able to listen to music. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. In reality, I should have really put the MP3 here, on his belt, not his web shooter. Sometimes I don't think things through. But yeah, this is absolutely my favourite costume. Like, this to me just represents Lost Cause more than anything. It's such a perfectly styled, hey, this is a handmade fan film kind of suit. And I'm gonna be forever proud of it. But yes, that is the nighttime suit. Get ready for the daytime suit. And of course, welcome to our third and final Spider-Man costume. I kind of forgot that I destroyed him in Another World.
Back to you, Tom.
So, the idea of this suit was, at the end of the film, we wanted more of a Spider-Man. I got a little scared when making Lost Cause because everyone hated the TASM suit, where I fell in love with it completely. So I thought at the end of the film, maybe I'd just go with a more classic style Spider-Man suit, but in the same vein as The Amazing Spider-Man. So again, I found a Halloween costume, an adult-sized Halloween costume that had the Amazing Spider-Man logo, but was more bright and colourful. And I wanted to pay homage to The Amazing Spider-Man a little bit more, and obviously the original suit, by puff painting the whole thing. I'm pretty sure like the whole thing is puff painted. So again, I made sure I had our belt that keeps in tie with our first Lost Cause suit. The web shooters are very different. They're now like really small, really condensed. Do they still light up after all these years? Oh, that's actually mad. That's not been used for 10 years and that's still, well done, batteries. The only thing that I didn't like about it was the mask. You'll see in the film, right? It never looks good on the face. Without a face shell, masks like this never work. These were like, it's like a weird cheap toy lens thing, and I bought two, one for the left and one for the right, and then I made paper hollow cutouts, and then I made this weird paper mesh that I was able to somewhat see through it, and I clamped them both together and then it made a lens. These are super glued on. I think The Amazing Spider-Man 2 just came out and I was like, well, I need to do that kind of lens now for the final shot. So we ended up doing that. As soon as I made Another World, I was like, I'm getting rid of that suit, I'm making my own. I don't know if people still puff paint their Spider-Man suits, but there's something about it, man. There's something about that shimmer, there's something about that shine that it just gives off. It's got a real homemade feel to it. I love the puff paint look. It just works. It just screams fan film. It screams, you've done this on a budget, you're a cheap ass, and you've painted your suit. I love that. But yeah, this is our daytime suit in all its glory. It's so interesting seeing the progression of fan film suits back in the day, like 10 years ago, 12 years ago. Like it was really hard to get a high quality suit and you had to do a lot of painstaking things to make it work. That was one of the fun things about designing these suits. You just had to figure a lot of stuff out. with the puff painting, with the motorbike helmet's internal plastic, super gluing lens on there, finding toys. It was a time. It's so many things are just readily available now. I appreciate it so much now that so many people are making these masks, so many people are selling their services and these amazing face shells and costumes that you can just get someone to make. But yeah, back in the day it was a little harder. I feel like we did good. There's a lot of reminiscing of Lost Cause this month, so bear with me. Thank you so much for coming back and jogging down memory lane with me, going through our old Spider-Man suits, talking to you how we made them, how we serviced them, the inspiration for them. It was fun. Thank you for being a part of this with me. So to wrap this all up, I hope you're enjoying our Spider-Man Lost Cause content. We recently uploaded the Lost Cause score, and the next few uploads are going to be I Want to Be a Superhero, a Lost Cause documentary, and Spider-Man Lost Cause respin. And of course, if you like this kind of content, don't forget to thumb me up. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and also type in your comments which is your favourite Spider-Man suit. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Spider-Man out.